Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to our next Java Champions interview. I'm here with Hendrik Ebbers and I can't wait to hear more of your career and how your path went towards the Java Championships. So Hendrik, how are you doing today?
Hey, yeah, I'm feeling good today. First of all, thank you for giving me the room for this interview. I'm curious what you want to ask about me, about being a Java champion, and things like that. Yeah, everything's fine at the moment so far.
And what do you do for a living nowadays?
Yeah, so not everything is fine so far, right? Because we're currently somewhere in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, actually, I work at home every day. Actually, which is quite sad because at Karakun, so the company that I co-founded, it's more than 2 years ago now, we created or started an office here in my hometown in Dortmund, and we are already 5 people now here in the office. And some people are started this year or at the beginning of this year because we just starting this office, and there it's really sad to not work together in the office in this new place. So everybody needs to be home. That's sad. But all of us created a quite good setup at home. So remote working works quite well. Yeah, could be worse.
I understand. Yeah, it can be difficult being all alone the whole day. At least I can do some great interviews with one of the famous people in the world, with the Java champions. Yeah, and speaking of this, how did you become a Java champion?
So I think at the end it was a mix of different things that I did. I started some years ago, I think it was in 2012, to create my own blog and start to learn how to do open source. This was regarding to Swing, so to the Java UI toolkit, and I created some open source components for Swing. And I don't know how this happens, but some people at Oracle get seen my blog posts about the Swing components, and they were from the Swing or from the Java 2D, Java front-end team at Oracle, and they were quite interested in this. And so I assume they pushed me a little bit. So there was one person, Gertjan, for example, who was in that time the maintainer of NetBeans. He, for example, gave me some space at 2 NetBeans workshops to give an overview of my components that I've written. Then some people from the JavaFX team, especially Jonathan Giles, who's actually now with you in a company at Microsoft and working on the Azure SDK. He did some pair programming with me by using Skype to have a look what I'm currently doing and so on. And yeah, this just pushed me to do more open source stuff, to start talking at conferences. And in parallel, independent to this, I started the Java User Group here in my hometown in Dortmund, because I was traveling all the time to Düsseldorf to the Java User Group, which is like by train, an hour to be at the user group. And so the idea came up to try something like that in Dortmund, which worked out great. And I think all these things together are the cause why somebody suggested me as a Java champion. Yeah.
That sounds great. And how do you use your Java championship nowadays? Like, do you use it for your regular job, or how can you leverage from this, and what does it give you back?
Actually, I don't think that I use it for my daily job. So, I mean, for me, being a Java champion is quite nice. It's a honor like that I received because I did some cool open source teaching, however, stuff in the Java area. So I championed Java at the end. And to be true, I just did this because I was interested in this. So I don't started this blog or the open source components based on a job or something like that. I did it in my free time. And this is more or less what I continue today. I'm happy that I found a company where I can do some of those things in my working hours, like contributing to open source projects like I'm currently doing for AdoptOpenJDK, for example, and talking at conferences, giving workshops, doing Java User Group related things. Some of these things I can do in my working time now, but other things like the Java User Group, for example, I still do in my free time. And this is where I try to be a Java champion by championing Java. I don't know if there's really a benefit for my working career. Maybe it would be a benefit if I would change companies, but I became a Java champion when I was at Kanu, and out of Kanu we founded Karakun. So I've never really changed the company, my manager, things like that, because they all come with us to Karakun. So there is not that benefit like now I get more money because I'm a Java champion. So based on this, I can quite happily say for me is it like I'm championing Java. I do cool things in Java. I try to share the knowledge, and that's why I'm a champion. Or that's why somebody suggested me as a champion at the end of the day.
So I'm not a Java champion myself. That's why I don't really know what it is like to be. And I just heard that you get exposed to a very large community of the other Java champions, and that so it basically gives you another network you can use for things.
Yeah.
And you said that you are very active in AdoptOpenJDK. Is that where you see Java's future, or is there any vendor-specific approach that you see in the future?
At the end, I hope that Java's future is still open. Mm-hmm. And I think AdoptOpenJDK is a big step into that direction, or a big platform to help Java being open. The biggest thing in this area is the OpenJDK, and will be the OpenJDK in future, because here the sources of Java are really as open source. What Adopt does is it provides vendor-independent open builds that provide free long-term support of Java, which means that at Adopt you can download now up-to-date versions from Java 8 or Java 11 that contains all the security fixes without the need to pay commercial support to a vendor like you need to do at Oracle if you want to have such updated Java 8 and Java 11 versions. At the end, I would never say that this is the only way to go. I like to have, on the one hand, for companies that do not need commercial support, that do not need like an answer within one working day, for startups, for universities, when you teach Java, it's super important to have a free solution of Java that you can just download, that is free, that has all the LTS updates or the security updates in the LTS versions. But on the other hand, there are companies that need commercial support, that want to have commercial support. If there is a problem, they want to call somebody or open an issue somewhere. And for such companies, it's important to have, it's not the opposite, but this other solution that, for example, companies like Oracle or Bellsoft provide. Yeah, right. So at the end, I like the mix.
I understand. And what is your company doing?
My company at Karakun, so the core, I would say, is Java consultancy or tech consultancy. We have a focus on Java. We have I'm quite happy to say that, let me count, at the moment we have 5 Java champions in our company. I think if you exclude companies like Microsoft, Red Hat, and so on, so all the really big players, we're really the company with the most Java champions.
And are you 100% Java champions? Because you said in the beginning you would be just 5 people.
Oh no, in the Dortmund office. Our main office is in Basel, in Switzerland. So we are, I don't know, 60 people, something like that at the moment. But we have several Java champions and Oracle groundbreakers. And based on this, I think you can already see that we are specialized in Java and love to help people with Java consultancy in special areas, for example, too. So a lot of us are really deep into Java in different topics of Java. I, for example, was part of the expert group for the Java Bean validation. So we have a lot of people. We have people that worked at Oracle in the Java core team that are now at our company. Same for Groovy. So we have one of the Groovy committers in our company. And we just want to help people in architecture, but what we do too is like developing complete applications for companies.
All right, and one last but very important question. How is your user group doing in this current situation? We have the pandemic for almost 1 year now, and I'm running a user group, the Docker meetup here in Berlin. It's kind of, it's not very lively nowadays. Yeah,
so the funny thing is that it's working better than last year. But actually, this is my fault because, so as said, like, mostly 3 years ago, we started Karakun. And this was like 1.5 years where I had absolutely no time for the user group. And my colleague that started the user group with me is now living in the Netherlands and working in the Netherlands. And therefore, both of us don't have time for the user group. And so I think there were like last year 2 appointments only. And at the end of last year, one of the things I wanted to do this year is start working on the user group again, having meetings each month and so on. Then Corona happened. But we decided to try to do it online. And we started this summer. And now we had several meetings already online with several people attending the user group, which is great. Interestingly, it's not only people from Dortmund. We had people now from Frankfurt, and so only German people, but people from other cities too, because it's quite easy to join a meeting if it's online. Another thing that we currently do to have a kind of user group feeling is that I send goodies to all the attendees at home that attend the user group. It's totally different what they get. Maybe they get here this Duke with a face mask sticker.
That's a cutie.
Next time we will have the Java Pro magazine and some AdoptOpenJDK stickers, things like that get, things that you normally get when visiting a user group, some goodies from companies, something like that. We now try to send home to our users. Yeah.
But other than that, is it still the normal format? So you have a session and somebody is presenting something and then afterwards you talk a little, or?
In general, this is how we did it so far. I'm part of the program committee of the JavaLand conference, and we're currently discussing new formats because the JavaLand is coming from the Java user groups in Germany. So the JAG leaders in Germany, we've created a group where we currently discuss what we can do, how we can make things better. So we had, last week was the first try where we invited 100 people because we wanted to have the audience a little bit slower to something that is called Gather Town. That looks a little bit like an old Zelda game or something like that, where you, with your person can move around, and we had 2 session rooms where you can grab a seat and listen to the presentation, or just walk away, go into the main floor and just chat there with some people. That worked quite well. Currently, we plan to have an interview series that will be a little bit more funny, kind of Java late night, where we do the first test this month too. And yeah, we hope that out of this we find some good ideas how we can evolve the digital or remote user groups for next year until the pandemic is gone.
All right. I'm also really looking forward to JavaLand this March or March next year. Yeah. So thanks for this interview, Hendrik. I have a lot to share afterwards in the comments. And yeah, thanks again. It was an honor talking to you, and I really got some more insights how it is to be a Java champion and what to do to get one, or if I should care at all, or just do my thing and then eventually become one.
That's the point. Do what you like. That is always the best. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.